Hello everyone. I have just started uploading videos of my sketches again. So this is the first uh, episode or segment of this video. My name is Hassan. Welcome to my sketching vlog. It's kind of a vlog I'm trying to do it today or every day and upload it every day. And It's due to a dream I had just had that I become a very famous YouTuber, sketching YouTuber. So I just wondering why not to try that and see if it's going to work. So I sketch every day, and usually I pick up my pencil and then start some doodles and then create something out of it because I love the idea of imagining the shapes and the possibilities that your subconsciousness or you are seeing those things inside those doodles and then interpreting those shapes according to your taste or your style. So I usually work with the high fantasy like um, D&D or like horror. I like those kind of sketches. So I usually see those kind of things in those doodles. So right now I just make those circle and then trying to interpret or sketch out those elements. So meanwhile I'm sketching, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks. See, I'm adding some bigger shapes. Always when you start sketching, try to see the bigger shapes, and you can do it like bits by bits. Like I have added the head shape, then I added the neck, and then I'm trying to think about the body, but I can leave the body part for later. First, maybe I can tackle the elements here, and you can see I'm not rendering or detailing this whole piece yet. I'm leaving it for later on because if I'm going to go thinking about all this nitty gritty areas, what's happening there, I might lose the flow of this structure, like what's going to happen there. So maybe I will figure out that first, give some hints of like shapes and then transformation of the form, so it will carry out to the other part of the body or other structure as well. So like this, let's see. So I'm right now, I don't have any idea how the pose is going to look like, but eventually it will settle as I keep doodling. And how you can create random poses, it's just your subconsciousness, because you have done a lot of live drawing, you have seen a lot of poses, and you know how human body react. Even if you haven't done that, you know, like you have seen the body language, and we have this vocabulary of understanding body language. So you can just like um, test it out, make some lines and see if it's working. Like right now I was not I was not sure how this hand is going to go, but I started making some zigzag and make it like a angle here, because adding angles in your drawing is very helpful. It makes the drawing very dynamic. And then right now I'm thinking about what should I do with this hand. Usually hands are very interconnected, although they are like very, like one hand is apart from other, but the posture of human body or any creature, it conveys whatever the first hand or one hand is doing. It is kind of counter part of, like the post of the other hand is actually like a counterpart part of the body. Like right now if I'm thinking this pose is doing something like looking forward, maybe this hand is resting here. So see, it's like making connection in that way. And if he is holding something, maybe this hand is on upside. You can imagine this hand is like this way, this way, and this way. And same for the legs as well. So that's why people draw head and torso, because this is the main part of the pose. Later on, you can design the limbs according to this major big masses. Let me just check if everything is in the frame. Let me just put it a little bit down. Here we go. Okay. So now I have everything is figured out, like not everything, but most of the things are figured out what I'm doing with that. And I also have a motif now behind this sketch. Like this is some kind of character looking forward, looking at something which is very mysterious or important, or like making curiosity for this character, like he's looking at something and trying to reach that. So it's kind of a story, not as such like a proper story like what this character is, but you have this, there's a motive behind this, anchor points behind this character. So if I want, I can run the whole story behind this. For example, in this case, I've started with the same thing, like I've added head and then torso and then hands. Now I can run whole story behind what is this. I call him a visitor when I just sketching him. So I just imagine he's kind of a visitor on some new place and doing some kind of hand gesture to call something, or activating his power or some kind of that mystical thing. And he's holding some candle or lamp or some illumination thing. So hand gestures are getting related with that. So it's playing the story, but it doesn't have to, you don't have to make this story very prominent, like where his origin, because we are just practicing. But it's really good to have some storyline, like what this character is doing. Like imagine it's a part of a big movie, but it's a still shot from within the movie that character is doing something. So you don't have to explain the whole movie. It's like a trailer. You have the character shot from within the movie, that like sometimes you watch the trailers, they have this kind of thing, like character is doing something and you don't know the whole story of it, but it makes you get interested, like what is happening. I like this kind of gesture here, so maybe I will continue over here. Like the hand is moving backward, because it's making more contra posture, like trying to balance, because this hand is going forward, this hand is going backward. And then part of like anatomy, when people get very worried about how to do the anatomical stuff, I don't know how to, like I don't know all the names of muscles and the shapes of them. I know the rough shape of them, like how they are joining together, and that's what I've learned by sketching from life, sketching from photos, and that makes me confident, like I can do some mimicking of anatomy rather than understanding anatomy in like medical level, at a medical level. So I don't think so I need of that kind of thing. Maybe in future if I need that, like my understanding of sketching and art evolve at that kind of level that I need to enjoy these kind of anatomical study or structures at a very basic level, that I need to know the names and all the connection, and I might go into further. Okay. So now I have a basic structure done. So what I usually do, I start sketching over it. Sometimes I erase out things. Sometimes I erase out like the things that I don't like. Let's say a little bit of things here and there. Like I don't like this neck. It's going towards the chest in this way. So I want to break it up from here and then add a little bit of hints of muscles. And there's one more thing, you don't have to define every bit of the forms. Like, you can leave it and give it like impression, like something is bending, something is turning. It's like a blur up image of some reality, and you creating that reality from imagination. So you don't have to define much, because if you're going to define it, you need to be very careful about what is the anatomical structure of this creature. You can do it later on once you commit to this character and you say, oh, this is really nice idea, I need to go further and add more realistic objects or realistic story along with it. So I like this thing happening here, like it's kind of a aqua creature, and there's kind of a gills here. So maybe I can take this idea of making it aqua and adding all the things that are needed to push this idea towards these forms. And this is what I'm drawing all from imagination, so there is no reference involved yet. But if I need something, that I need to take the reference that I haven't drawn before and then I haven't seen before, then I will take it further. Like if I'm going to refer this character to some kind of fish or marine life, and I don't know how to draw that or how this marine life look like, so I need to take reference of that. But up till now, I'm pretty much confident. I'm just drawing purely from imagination, so I don't want to attach it to any kind of creature, realistic creature. It's pure imaginative. So in terms of shading, it's black and white, so you don't need to worry about any colors and any local values. All you need to worry about is the value of the shadows, like if it's conveying the 3D-ness of the forms. So when I sketch, I always think about the light, how light affects the form. When I started my career, I have a really good critique, and it makes me feel about my work very differently, because I was thinking, I'm doing really good, my work is getting better, and I've asked a very famous artist to critique my work, and right out of the right the first expression, the first thing that he said to me, like, you are at a very beginner level, so it's good, and you're going in the right direction, it's good, but you don't have a sense of lighting. And I was very proud of my lighting, like I'm doing very good. And he pointed out that there is no direction of light, you need to figure out where the light is coming from, and the form is bending and the structure of the form, what is happening. So I got really messed up. Like I was thinking I'm really good at that point. So, and for a few days I was very in a shock, like what is happening, because he really shake me out of my core. Like I was in the delusion. So I started working on my foundations, like forms and lights, rendering the basic shapes, and then thinking about the different light scenarios, the intensity of light. Then I come to the conclusion, like when I usually sketch like these, I have to focus on the ambient light. Like maybe there is light all over the environment, there's no one direction. But what happened then, there are some caveats, some areas where there will be there's a hard time for light to go in. That's why it will become darker. So like for example, the armpits, they have been very under shadow, under the nose, eye bridge, the neck area. So these are the small areas where you can put more darkness there to make it more readable. And also I developed the sketching idea that whenever I'm going to sketch, I try to keep the lines flowing in the way that it define the forms. So it will tackle both the light and also the form turn, how it moves in a space. So these are become my like motivation. And also sometimes people think, when should you stop when you do sketching or creating artworks? Where is the point that you should stop? So for me is that, like, if I think it's the whole um whole thing is readable, the whole sketch is readable in terms of form and lighting. So I have I have the goals in my sketching ritual, and those are that, like, if the form is readable, I have done my work. So if it's not readable, if it's need more details, if we need more shading, I will keep adding the shading, making it darker, lighter. And if I think the form is readable, I have done my work. I can leave it there as it is. I don't have to do much to define it. I don't do full high render artworks with pencil. Sometimes I do, but mostly I leave it like very loose, because I like it. I like those sketches to be look incomplete, but at the same time you have the full information of what's happening, how this form is look like. So I hope you like this video, and I will upload and create more videos like that, kind of a sketching vlog. And I hope my dream will become true. Thank you so much. And please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.